Previously on Behind the Walking
Upholstered
Foot.
piece of furniture is designed. How it begins as an idea, it is drawn out, and then starts the process in research and development to be built into a usable piece of furniture.
Begin. Assimilation.
So let's talk about how it all begins. Like everything else, upholstered furniture begins with an idea. And a lot of times that idea comes from designers. Designers are paid by the companies, a lot of upholstered companies, and these are people that study trends and things that are going on in the marketplace, and with this information, they will put pen to paper and a lot of times come up with sketches. You've seen dress designers and things like that where they start with a sketch. It's the same thing in furniture. So you have these guys, they start out with this sketch. Guys, it could be women, it could be anybody. They start out with a sketch, they draw an idea down, and they come to a company that will hire them to present these ideas, and marketing people in these companies will pick a design or something and then that they like, and they will take it to their R&D department, and that's where the process begins. Here's some examples of some designers from mid-century. One of my favorite designers from this time was Charles Imes. Now, Imes created a method of bent plywood. He made a lot of furniture out of, with this idea. He would take the plies of laminate wood, and he would shape them into forms and create these designs. One of these chairs that Charles Imes developed, I first saw in the 1970s, and it came into the shop to be reupholstered, and I was just fascinated by it. And I've done several of them through the years. They're very simple to upholster. But this chair he designed, he said he designed it to look like a baseball glove, a well-worn baseball glove. And if you look at it hard enough, you can kind of see those lines. But it's a very comfortable chair. And this design has stayed until now. And I don't know how much it cost. It was developed in the mid-50s when it first came out. And Herman Miller now sells it. It's called the Imes chair, and it's very expensive. I mean, it's gotten ridiculously expensive. I've tried to buy this chair on eBay and to buy an old one to recover, and it's just ridiculous what people want for them. And to buy one new is at least $5,000 now, I think, from Herman Miller at the present time. There's some companies that can't afford designers. Smaller companies will do this little trick that a lot of people don't talk about in the furniture industry. In fact, I wrote an article on it one time in Upholstery Design magazine, and I talked about how some companies copy other people's furniture and copy each other's furniture, and that was edited out before it was published in the magazine. So it is one of the little known secrets is a lot of furniture companies copy each other. And they'll go so far as to go out and buy this furniture, bring it in and strip it and copy every detail. Now, the problem with that is, and I hated this, if I was working in the R&D department and they brought it in, I might look at it, I might get some measurements, but I ain't gonna pull the fabric off and copy it because you're copying manufacturing mistakes. And that's the one thing you got to be careful of if you're in an R&D or whatever. Now, and even in a reupholstery shop, a lot of reupholsterers will strip the piece down and use the pieces of fabric to recover their furniture or to recover the furniture. And the problem with this is you're copying other people's mistakes. A lot of times there's a long process that goes through manufacturing, from cutting to sewing to actually applying it to the frame. And a lot of mistakes can be made along the way, and those mistakes get amplified in the manufacturing process, and you just wind up copying those. So I never did do that, and my dad never did that in reupholstery. He would measure the frame and he would make his own patterns, and a lot of times they were just free-handed patterns, and he would cover the furniture. But that's enough about that. We're going to talk more about the R&D process and going from design and concept to an actual built piece of furniture, or prototype as we would call it. So what we would do is a lot of times the 8.5 by 11 picture would come to us in the R&D department, and we would take it and start deciding how we're going to build it. Now, when I first started in R&D, I was working at Simmons Company in Atlanta, and that was when it was still owned by the mattress company, and there was an upholstery division, the hide-a-bed division. They were the inventors of the hide-a-bed, or sleep sofa as some people call it. That was their brand name for it, hide-a-bed. And so anyway, I was working frames there. I would design and build the frames, and we would get together and discuss dimensions of how we're going to build this piece of furniture. What's comfortable. Now, there's certain set dimensions every manufacturer has that they live by, and they do that for manufacturing purposes and shipping purposes. And one of the things you have to take into consideration, and you'll see not done all the time, is if you get a big, massive piece of furniture, a lot of times somebody didn't take into account how you're going to get that in your home. And so, it may be difficult to get through the door. It's like there's certain standards, like in, let's say, a stove that goes into a kitchen. There's a certain opening that every cabinet maker knows to allow for standard stoves. But there's not so much standards in furniture sometimes, and sometimes you get a big piece of furniture that you can't get into a home without a lot of maneuvering to get it done. So that's some of the things you take into account, and then you start building the furniture. And during this process, the designer, marketing people will come out and give feedback along the way until we finally get to the point where we have a sellable piece of furniture. Once that's determined, it's taken to the market, and that's another story for another time. Hope you enjoyed this video. Try to share some more stuff. I think the next thing we're going to talk about is frames and how that's done. That was one of my, like I said before, it's one of my first jobs. And I'll tell you more about that coming up on the next episode. Thanks for watching.